assurance do you give Ugandans who have that inevitable program to get to South Africa and their safety? Honorable Minister, we also need to understand many of the families in Uganda of the people who have been brought back are making several calls and wondering why they are not able to see their people. In the instance that many of the people who have been brought back, or all, if I'm not mistaken, are being taken to Kyankwanzi. May we know why these people are being kept at Kyankwanzi from the time they were repatriated, because the families are in wonderland what their family members are doing in Kyankwanzi. We may have to know whether all are cadres or it's a training for the NRM leadership, something, so we get to tell the public what is happening in Kyankwanzi. You also need to come out very strong on the total loss to Ugandans to be compensated. If we remember very well, when there was an issue in South Sudan, the Ugandans who lost their properties and everything was compensated by the government of Uganda. You need to come out very strong, the compensation schedule, or what is the compensation you're going to give to these people that you have brought back. Many of these people had businesses in South Africa. Bringing them back to stay at home, we need to know how we are going to manage the people who have come back because they've left their businesses there. Honorable Minister, you are also aware that most of our borrowing is from Stanbic, which is a South African bank, and MTN. And this bank, we are all aware that it repatriates over 6 trillion.
Honorable Shadow Minister, kindly please don't take that line. Please. I just want to guide, okay? Yeah, let us be patriotic leaders. Let us be patriotic leaders. Let us not, please, I'm the one seated here and I'm the one who has guided, okay? These are private companies. Let us not start this here on the floor. It's not good for this country. I would request you, my sister, Joanna Robo, okay? Kindly continue.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the guidance. But I only wanted to find out if we intend to have any other sources of borrowing if anything goes wrong between South Africa and Uganda. Thank you for the guidance. I also want the minister to come out strongly, and has the government of Uganda, particularly Kampala and Pretoria, so far been in any discussions to ensure control and restoration of security of persons and properties of the Ugandans?
The Kyankwanzi. Yes, because she raised.
Honorable, don't respond to people from the side. Remain on the script.
Thank you, Right Honorable, for the protection. Because the member said that people went to Kyankwanzi and their relatives cannot access them. So this is the point I'm making. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, when the first group arrived at Entebbe, they indeed requested to have a meeting with the president. Yes, and I informed the president and he accepted. But you know, we have been bringing these people in bits. So we agreed with them that we need to have a one holding ground so that they go, but as we continue talking to them, because you see, These people have been traumatized. And now talking to them is like a therapy. And I tell you, they are very appreciative. Very appreciative. To the extent, Right Honorable, to the extent that, honorable colleagues, to the extent that even those that had come back on their own are now requesting to be put on the list to access Kyankwanzi. This is a very good achievement, and indeed, they are very, very happy for this arrangement. Right Honorable Speaker, the Shadow Minister also raised issues to do with these companies of ours that are here. You know, honorable colleagues, Ugandans...
Honorable Minister, she did not.
She did not.
It's you raising it.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Another issue was to do with those that have already scheduled to travel to South Africa. Let them continue with their travel. This problem, yes, these attacks are on those Ugandan nationals, in fact African nationals that are in South Africa undocumented illegally. But it does not mean that there is a ban. And by the way, members, I need to inform you that this is not authorized by government of South Africa. The government of South Africa is not behind this. Yes. So it is. So I therefore implore all those that had scheduled to travel to South Africa to continue with their movement. Another point, Right Honorable Speaker, the Shadow Minister raised the concern that we should continue with engagements. Yes. Actually, we are continuing with diplomatic engagements. And very soon, I will be traveling to South Africa for more engagements. How I wish that even the Shadow Minister can accompany me to South Africa for further engagements. I thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Order, honorable colleagues. Now,
with what has happened to our dear Africans, sons and daughters, and in line with our constitution, especially Objective 28, with our international relations and the government in power, one of the 4 principles is about Pan-Africanism. We do understand, Right Honorable Speaker, that our brothers in South Africa ought to have understood this. I want, in good measure, to thank the Honorable Minister, and especially for what the government has done on evacuations from South Africa. I have my own residents, over 50 of them already in Kyankwanzi, undergoing psychosocial support, which is okay on the side of government. But of course, equally, Mr. Minister, sir, this is not xenophobia. This is not Afrophobia. It is Negrophobia. Negro. They hate only black. You have been in South Africa, Right Honorable Speaker, in all these places. You are aware there are some illegals who are white, Arab, Indian. They are going for only anybody with the Rasta skin like mine. That cannot be tolerated, certainly. But we want also to say, before you, and at an appropriate time, of course, I will lay on table one of the deceased, one of those ones murdered by these vigilantes. Parliament can see, and it's not good. Even when somebody has gone there illegally, there are processes, there are international protocols towards that, Mr. Speaker, you know it. And I want to request that I lay on table displayed for the press to see. Yeah. He's called Nasima Ronald, son of Fred Lwandanyi, from my constituency, actually my home area. And he's dead. I want to thank government for evacuating the body. Thank you so much, and the support to the family especially. And we must give credit where it has been done. Lastly, Mr.
Beg to proceed. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm grateful for this opportunity to update this August House on the measures undertaken by the government of Uganda in response to the recent attacks against foreign nationals in the Republic of South Africa and the evacuation of our citizens whose safety was at risk. Honorable colleagues, in mid-June 2026, vigilante pressure groups, principally the March to March group, issued a self-imposed deadline of 30th June, demanding that all undocumented foreign nationals leave South Africa. This ultimatum regrettably contributed to attacks against foreign nationals and damage to business owned by migrants from across African continent. I wish to place on record our profound appreciations to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda for his timely directive that arrangements be made to evacuate our citizens whose safety had placed in jeopardy. Pursuant to that directive, the Right Honorable Prime Minister coordinated my ministry, the Minister of Works and Transport, the Chief of Defense Forces, Uganda Airlines, the Uganda High Commission in Pretoria, and the leadership of the Ugandan community in South Africa, and also Minister of Finance. I'm happy to report that as of Tuesday, 7th July 2026, a total of 808 Ugandans had been repatriated back home. And we will continue to coordinate emergency support. The next phase of the emergency airlift includes one additional flight expected today, Wednesday, 8th July 2026, at 6 p.m. expected to carry an additional 250 evacuees. Accordingly, by the end of today, we shall expect to have successfully evacuated 1,130 citizens, Ugandan citizens from South Africa. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, the phenomenon of xenophobic violence in South Africa is not new. Since early 1990s and more visibly from 2008 onwards, the country has experienced periodic outbreaks targeting foreign nationals, often in communities grappling with severe unemployment, poverty, inequality, pressure on public services, and competition for informal trading spaces and employment opportunities. These underlying pressures, coupled with reports that several evacuees had lived in the country for many years without documentation, underscored the need for urgent, coordinated, and decisive action by the state. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable colleagues, no grievance, however deeply felt, can ever justify violence against fellow Africans. Where criminality is alleged, it must be addressed through lawful and orderly processes, and must never be attributed collectively to any nationality or group of people. Acts of xenophobia erode social cohesion, undermine public order, and offend the principles of human dignity, justice, peaceful coexistence, and most importantly, Pan-African solidarity. Uganda and South Africa enjoy warm, historic, and mutually beneficial bilateral relations, strengthened through trade, investment, education, tourism, defense cooperation, and people-to-people exchanges. It is therefore imperative that these incidents be addressed firmly, lawfully, and constructively, without diminishing the enduring friendship, mutual respect, and cooperation that exists between the two countries. My ministry continues to engage our South African counterparts through established diplomatic channels to ensure the safety and welfare of our citizens. We note with appreciation the assurances given by the authorities in Pretoria regarding the protection of our legally documented persons with their property within their jurisdiction, as well as their commitment to investigate incidents of violence and ensure that those responsible are held in accordance with the law. Also remind us of the need to intensify state-led interventions aimed at addressing unemployment and expanding opportunities for our people, including programs such as the Partial Development Model and other wealth creation programs, so that Ugandans are increasingly able to pursue dignified and sustainable livelihoods at home. On behalf of the government of Uganda, I extend my deepest condolences to the families of the 3 Ugandan nationals who lost their lives. I also extend heartfelt sympathies to all affected persons and reassure Ugandans in South Africa that their safety, dignity, and welfare remain our priority. Our High Commission continues to monitor developments closely, engage the Ugandan community, and liaise with the competent South African authorities to provide consular assistance. Our citizens are encouraged to remain vigilant, avoid areas of unrest, comply with the laws of the host country, and maintain regular contact with our High Commission. Honorable colleagues, as we reflect on these regrettable events, Uganda remains steadfast in its conviction that peaceful and harmonious coexistence among the people of Africa is both possible and necessary for our shared prosperity. Uganda remains the leading refugee hosting country in Africa and continues to pursue an open and progressive refugee policy grounded in solidarity, compassion, and shared responsibility. Our national experience demonstrates that diversity, when embraced, can be a source of strength. We shall therefore continue to champion peaceful coexistence, lawful immigration, and the protection of human dignity, while working with our partners to ensure that rights and safety of our citizens abroad are upheld.